feels really Q&A.
Hi, I am in the United States. I really appreciate your videos and I learn a lot from. I'm not a professional artist, but I am an amateur craftsperson of many forms, getting ready to dive into my first mosaic. I have done tile work but never anything like this, so I am looking for some guidance on very basic stuff about mosaic rugs, and I'm hoping you can offer a few hours of consulting to help me not make bad mistakes. What I need to know: what is the best substrate for a mosaic that is getting foot traffic? It's in my house that I'm renovating, so I am open to what should be put on the floor. The mosaic will be surrounded by regular tile and I want it to all be level, so I'm really struggling with how to do that. I think I will use broken tile pieces rather than the mosaic glass pieces to achieve the image.
That me was about how to install things on the floor. So I was in Al Basra in Iraq 2012 and we made some why I'm staying like this. That was in Iraq in Al Basra in 2012. I was invited to go there as a supervisor. So as I was in Africa at the last month. The main problem was really, I actually wrote everything what they have to do before we start to install that mosaic, but substrate, beton, concrete, and the mosaic didn't fit with the level of the surrounded marble. So what we did actually was we used self-leveling material. It's kind of cement-based stuff. You just, I guess you put some water in, you have to ask how to use it, and then you just spread it on the floor. It gets like, how is that called? I try to show it. It's getting like this, it's liquid, and it's trying to reach the whole space, you know, the whole floor, until it becomes the same thickness. And the next day we finally could start to glue that mosaic rook on the floor. We used epoxy. Epoxy is a different material. If you ever did not use this kind of material, just ask someone to do it for you. Because the main problem is, if epoxy dries on your mosaic tiles, you will never have a chance to clean it up. So it's the strongest gluing material that I ever saw in my whole life. I saw it the first time in this construction area, and the cool part was you can use it to glue the tiles on the floor, and you can use the epoxy which comes out between that mosaic tiles as grouting. So it's like each mosaic tile with surrounded by this stuff, which is the gluing and the grouting in one. So tiles gets hold very strongly, and it never will get a chance. That epoxy stuff has two components. That's why you get really confused during the installation part. And it has also a time limit to use that stuff. It gets dry, it gets hot, kind of. It was very different kind of. I made some installation in Cyprus. We have a house over there. On the floor, it was ceramic and ceramic mosaic. We just use regular, ceramic mortar to glue, and nothing happens actually. But if these pieces are big mosaics, 2-3 meters or something like that, I guess you need that epoxy stuff. It's highly technically. So there are really things which is hard to explain, needs to be shown. But I hope this will help you. You are in America. If you was a little close to me, I would drive over. Don't forget about self-leveling and epoxy. If the mosaic is not so big, if you have not so very small tiles on your mosaic, just use some regular ceramic gluing mortar and you will be fine. But if you have stained glass, it's very shiny and don't want to hold easily that mortar, that ceramic gluing mortar, I recommend you use epoxy, and the best way will be let someone do it for you. That self-leveling stuff is really it's not easy to manage, and some mistakes will cost you a lot of noise in the house.
I realize this is your business and you are so very generous with your time to share your... Many thanks.